How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I'll bring you an update on Jonathan Isaac. Now, in case you don't know who he is or why he's important, I'll give you some backstory so you understand what's going on with him, and then we get into the context as to why what he did and the reactions to what he did are making news right now today. Now, first of all, Jonathan Isaac is an NBA basketball player, big 6'10", 6'11" guy, plays center forward for the Orlando Magic. He, at one point, was the only guy in the entirety of the NBA to not do any kneeling, to not do any fists in the air, and to not wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. He's a devout Christian. He says, look, this is not part of my faith. All lives are represented in the gospel. All lives matter in the gospel. We need to get back to God. We need to get back to Jesus. That'll help us more than putting on a shirt, all this, that, and the third. Okay, that was his main thing. And I did a video about him. I gave him a lot of praise for it, for being a brave man, for not going with the herd. It was a fantastic thing that he did. Now, I'm gonna back up a little bit earlier in the year to give you some context as to why everybody in the NBA was doing this, because it was not like this earlier, like January, February. It was not like that during the regular NBA season. Now, we all know the virus popped like right around March. It had been here for a while, according to like a lot of sources. It had been here for a while, but right around March or April was when it really popped and people were getting sick and scared and everything. I think Rudy Gobert, who plays for the Utah Jazz, big 7-foot center, he got it first, and then a bunch of other guys got it all around the league, and then it became a matter of fan safety, and everybody's wearing masks, and everything was shutting down. So the NBA itself shut down mid-season. Now, fast forward to when they start, I think June of this year, maybe July. I think maybe even in July, the NBA resumed, and they had this quote-unquote bubble down there, coincidentally, in Orlando, Florida, where all guys that would want to play, that would opt into the restart of the season, they go down there and not leave. So that reduces the chance of the virus being spread or anybody catching or anybody getting sick. And there was no fans there. You're able to watch the games, of course, at home, but you can't actually be there in the arena. So they did the restart. And of course, George Floyd happened in between the time that they had canceled their season or paused it, and then the restart. So you got Black Lives Matter rallies all over the place, hands up, don't shoot. It's kind of weird how Black Lives Matter was doing the exact same thing, kind of like extorting businesses, social pressure, physical pressure, all of this and that and the third. Back in the last election cycle in 2016, they were dormant for a few years, and they're back in 2020. In the next election cycle, it seems like it's kind of orchestrated, like it's somebody being paid off. I don't really know what's going on, but I digress. My whole point is that they were there in 2016 doing the same thing. Now they're back here in 2020, and the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, Major League Baseball, they're all pretty much acquiescing to whatever BLM wants. All right. The NBA, they put Black Lives Matter on the court. You got guys that have Black Lives Matter on the back of their jersey, all kind of stuff. And of course, you got Black Lives Matter t-shirts. Everybody in the NBA is kneeling all together. This was a thing that was like collectively bargained during the pause to come back for the restart. However, Jonathan Isaac was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm not part of it. I'm going to stand up. So having said all that, not everyone respected Mr. Isaac's decision, okay? You seeing the typical stuff you would see all the time when you do something like that, that goes against the grain, that goes against general black thought, that goes against what Joe Biden would say, you know, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. All blacks are the same. When you go against that, you get attacked, of course. Coon Uncle Tom, sellout, shoe signer, you hate black people, you support Trump. I mean, things that aren't even really insults. They're just trying to throw at this man because of just how he believes, how he feels, because he's a Christian and he's devout in his religion. Even the reporters are trying to attack him right there, right after he did it. Okay. But he stood strong and continued to do what he wanted to do. However, he got injured shortly thereafter. He went down on the play and injured his knee. Now, a little bit of context for that. He was hurt earlier in the year before the season was put on pause when the virus popped. I think he got hurt like in January. And ever since that time, he had been rehabbing to try and come back and play again this year. And I think he might have injured that same knee. Now, I don't know if that was a coincidence, that the knee wasn't totally healed or whatever, but he had already been hurt earlier in the year. And of course, the same people that came out and attacked this man for kneeling to begin with, then came out and said, that's what you get. The ancestors are smiling upon the situation. You ain't want to take a knee. That's why he took your knee away from you. God did it, all this, that, and the third. And it wasn't just your regular trolls and normies on the internet that don't really matter at all. You had ESPN, a guy that works for them by the name of Dan Le Batard, came out and put a poll on his show account. I forget the name of the show. I'm gonna promote him, but it was a poll on the show account talking about, isn't it funny that the guy that didn't want to kneel gets his knee hurt? Oh yeah, they put it out there, and it was getting people to vote on it and everything. Now, of course, more people said that it's not funny, but some said it did. I think when I saw the poll before it got deleted, it was at like 34%. It was at like 30-something percent. Yes, it is funny. And then the rest, no, it's not. So that's kind of surprising to some people, but to me, not really. I pretty much would expect some people, but I'm glad it was not more that say, yes, it is funny than those that said, no, it's not funny. So of course, it was a big backlash. How you going to say this to this man? He just got hurt. I mean, it's not his fault. You're trying to act like he deserved it for not kneeling, and they deleted it and they put out a quote unquote apology, all this and that and the third. But this ain't Dan Le Batard's first time doing it. This ain't ESPN's first time doing something like that. Okay, Jemele Hill used to be over at ESPN. You know how toxic she is. Okay, she would basically say something the same as what Dan Le Batard said, and Dan Le Batard is white. So you got white liberals, black liberals, everybody attacking black folks that want to be a little bit different. I don't think Jonathan Isaac is even conservative at all. He's just a Christian guy and is being led by his faith. That's it. It ain't nothing political to it. But they want to make it be political. They want to attack that man for doing these things. This is why I say it's dangerous when Joe Biden comes out there and says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Black folks ain't diverse. Now, I'm not going to say that he's incorrect as far as a voting, like 90% Democrat. However, the attitude, the general, the tone and all of that is like you expect the black vote. And if you don't get the black vote, then it's okay to ridicule us, to hurt us, to shoot us and everything else. Okay, you didn't see black conservative guys get shot, stabbed, all of that because they're black conservatives and Trump supporters. We've seen that all over the place. That's what the Klan did back in the day. They would intimidate you because of how you were behaving, how you were voting and stuff like that. White folks got lynched too back in the day. Let's not forget about that. Okay. A lot of white abolitionists got lynched for having different points of view than other people. All right. So we just got to kind of get on the same page with that. It's really dangerous to say things like this, to cheer violence towards a man. When you cheer violence, or when you cheer somebody having an injury, you're also cheering the violence because you're saying that, oh, it's funny, it's great, ha ha. Like, if somebody was to go out there and do it to him intentionally, would it also be funny? Why not? If you're laughing at the man for getting hurt on a basketball play, not doing anything that's wrong or illegal, just out there playing basketball, he falls on the ground, hurts his knee. If you're laughing at that, then you would laugh at him for getting shot maybe too. That kind of mentality is what's going on out there in the world. So that is an update. Shout out to Jonathan Isaac for not kneeling to the mob, for not acquiescing, for not doing what they wanted him to do. We need more guys like that. And the behavior from Dan Le Batard, Jemele Hill, these regular normie mouth breathers on Twitter, that pretty much tells you where the actual racists are. When I was on the left, as I close, when I was on the left, I was always told that the racist white man on the right hated me. They thought I was a monkey, all this, that, and the third. But really, over on the left is where that kind of person lives. All right. When I was on the left and I would talk to those on the right, I wouldn't get the racial stuff. Even if I was arguing with them on some kind of political point, I would not get the racist, things. I would get, go read, what you're talking about. I wouldn't get the racial slurs, the N-words, the vitriol, the cussing and the fussing. I wouldn't get that from the right. But now that I'm on the right and I talk to the left, you get all kind of racist abuse. It doesn't matter who the person is. They can be black, white, Puerto Rican, Kenny Stripe. You get all kind of names thrown at you, all kind of things. They can be young, old, it's all the same. There's where the actual racists are. And you can see in the reaction to Jonathan Isaac being injured, due to no fault of his own. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Are you surprised that the Dan Le Batards of the world laughing at Jonathan Isaac's injury because he didn't win the kneel for Black Lives Matter? And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. And what are they saying when they do stuff like that? When they put out polls and like, what are they actually accomplishing? What are they doing? I think they're delivering a message to anybody that's black and not firmly on the left. Okay. You're going to be criticized. You're going to be ostracized. We might even want to shoot you or something like that. Might want to hurt you. And if you do get hurt, and if you do have something happen to you, we're going to laugh at it. It's all good. It's the same thing they did with Herman Cain. When he died from the virus, that's what he gets. He died for Trump. Just, ridiculous and just crazy things. So I ain't just making it up. It's not just me. You can see examples of it. Go on your Twitters every now and again. You'll see it all up and down your timeline. That's how it is. That's where the actual racists are. So I don't want to hear anything from anybody on the left talking about how the right are racist and how they're white supremacists. Look into the mirror and look into your own party. What you're seeking, you shall find, just not over here. It'll be from within. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.